Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. In today's podcast, we're going to have another fabulous guest, and I'm so excited that we're going to be speaking with Judy Feldhausen. So Judy has two companies, which is amazing. One of the company is called Cardio Wellness Group. And what Judy does, it's an alternative to health professional and health and wellness advocate in a cardiovascular industry. And the second company Judy has, and it's so interesting, it's called Life and Power, and it's a coaching business. So good morning, Judy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Grace. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So we're going to start with Life and Power. What made you start this company in 2000? What inspired you to step in and said, I'm going to do coaching?
Well, Emma, it's a really interesting story. I was in cosmetics, and I had a team of women that I was working with, and it always seemed that life got in the way of their success. Yeah. Whether no matter what was happening, things happened in their life and they weren't succeeding because of it. So I decided to take a class to see how I could help them in a different way. And that was a coaching class. It was over 20 years ago. And at that time, no one had heard of coaching. And I fell in love with how I could help these women.
So how did you fund the class?
It was a girlfriend that said, hey, there's this thing that they're doing for kind of self-improvement, and it's called coaching, and they're having a free preview. Would you like to go? So I did.
Ooh.
And I went to the free preview. I signed up for the class, started class next day, and within 6 months got my first coaching certification.
Wow, that is great. So you were still working in a cosmetic world and you did your classes. So how did you do the transition from the cosmetic to the full coaching?
Well, the first thing I did was learn how to help the people on my team. Mm-hmm. and help them look at life a different way and help them change their mindset and their belief in themselves. And I just loved it so much. I was in the Chamber of Commerce. I was on the board, and I started talking to people in the chamber. And all of a sudden, I had this clientele of men in the financial world.
That is funny. You wanted to help women, and you end up with men as well. This is good.
Yes. And then I started getting insurance companies that gave me their staff people, and it just kind of blossomed from there. And what I loved about it is, like, the insurance company, they would say, I want this person to sell more. And, my response was, I can't say that they will, but I will help them see things differently. And we never spoke about their sales in our sessions. Yep. We spoke about who they were and what they wanted and what their why was. And at the end of our 12-week session, this one woman, she actually was at the top in her company. Her last session was, I have to figure out how I can talk to the management to give more bonuses because I'm maxed out. And we never spoke, but her why was her daughter. And she started really focusing on her work to help her daughter. Kind of a strange thing, but it worked. I had someone else that she was in a not-for-profit, and her goal was to marry the man of her dreams. She wasn't dating.
Okay.
By the end of our 12-week session, she'd met someone, and within the year, she married him.
Wow, that is wonderful. What a powerful coaching and a way to really not talking about the issue, but work on ourselves. Oh my goodness. You must have seen incredible things like that.
It's amazing. And it was very wonderful for myself too, for me to look inside and see what was holding me back, what was stopping me from becoming successful. Because as you coach people, I tell you, you learn as much as you teach.
That is what is wonderful. And your transformation comes by applying what you have learned as well.
Absolutely.
That's what makes you a very good coach at the end of the day, too, because you go through the transformation.
Right. And you have had those experiences and the pain.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
Our growth comes through pain.
So you have done this for over 20 years. What are the biggest changes have you noticed from the beginning of you doing the coaching to today's in regards of coaching? What major changes has happened through then you have seen?
Well, there are so many changes. One was when I started, when I told people I was a coach, they asked me if I was a tennis coach.
Okay.
I don't know why I looked like a tennis player, but no, I wasn't a tennis coach. They had no idea. It was difficult to explain what I did.
Yes.
And in the past 20 years, there are so many coaches and so many ways to coach and so many schools, so many opportunities for people. And I think so many of the buzzwords that I learned 20 years ago are actually in everyday life now. You know, like the aha moment and mindset and many other things. It's just natural now. So coaches, I believe, have to step up their game to find new and better ways to help people, because people are now at a higher level than they were 20 years ago. They know a lot. It's the application and the integrity for themselves that I think many coaches aren't holding their clients accountable for what they say they want.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. That's I think one of the keys as well to really understand their why. Because I'm assuming when individuals are looking at their whys, they maybe don't look at the correct one, or the one they think it's a why, but might not be the correct why. There's something else behind it they don't want to share or are afraid to say.
Yes, and a good coach can actually help people find it and help them talk about it in a safe place. And not only that, as a certified coach, I have 3 coaching certifications now. As a certified coach, you are able to use some techniques that seem to have nothing to do with a person's why, but can uncover it through a way of questioning.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's those things that I think make the coach more valuable to the client.
Exactly. It's learning about who they are to start with. Let them open up and being able to share their stories.
Well, at who they are and who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we forget who we were. And so discovering that again and discovering that joy and laughter makes such a difference. Because, I believe in the whole gratitude thing. It's been around for many, many years. But the people that are grateful for things that happen to them every day live a better life. I know people that, I tell you, things happen bad to them every single day. And they're focusing on that.
Yes.
And I don't think that good things happen all the time, but I think we experience things through our pain.
Yes.
And we can use it as a lesson and
Mhm.
move forward from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's where the growth come, the pain. If it wasn't, that would be great, actually, if we can pass the pain and go to the joy. But we are learning, I believe we are learning less with the joy than we are learning with the growth of the pain and the changes.
Right.
It's,
Well, I'm a gardener, and I often think, oh gosh, if I had this tree and it's swaying in the wind,
Mhm.
and I feel bad because, oh my gosh, what happens if it's going to lose branches or if it falls down? But that wind is actually strengthening the tree.
Yes.
So that eventually, if a hurricane would come around, right, it would have a better chance of surviving because it's gone through that discomfort all of its life.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that image of the tree. Actually, that's a good way to see our trials and tribulation, which is not that easy, but we have to learn to ride the wave. Like I always said, it's the life we got is the raging river that is our lives. We have to learn to maneuver around it, the obstacle. We can go left, right, above, under, whatever we got to do. But those are life lessons that will teach us something. There is always a silver lining. And sometimes we have to figure out where the silver lining is in the middle of darkness, and just keep the faith and the hope and keep on moving forward.
That's
Which is a
right.
big challenge, which is a huge challenge.
When you're in the middle of it, it is
Yeah.
huge. It is huge. And that's why it's so good to have someone that you can share, that you can talk to, that you trust,
Mm-hmm.
to keep your secrets secret, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And that is essential, as well. Being able to trust the coach. Absolutely.
And I think it's especially important for executives in business
Mm-hmm.
because they really have no one. They can't talk to the people that work for them.
Nope.
And many times, even if they have a spouse or partner, they really can't share with them either. I know for me personally, when I've brought my frustration to the dinner table, my husband loves to fix things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he decides on what I should do or what I shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And those decisions are not my decisions, they are his.
Mm-hmm.
And so sharing can be difficult for many people.
Yes, I agree. Quite often, yes, we just don't open our mouth and just figure it out. Maybe by planting, gardening, by doing something else different, that the solution will come along. But yeah, sometimes when people wants to fix and help, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. So through the 20 years that you have done this work, what have been your challenges along the way?
Well, recently in many years, it's because there are so many coaches. It's difficult to define yourself and make you be the first choice for customers and clients because there are so many choices. That can be difficult for any coach, and really, learning how to market and who to market to. Um, that's so extremely important, and what your specialties are. So for me, I really have a heart for business people because I was a business manager when I had young children traveling all over the world. I know the challenges that I went through, and I was in the electronics industry. It was back then, it was 100% men. I was the only woman on the executive team. And
Wow.
so, I would travel all over the country, and the men would bring me to not good restaurants, let's say, for lunch, because it's the place that they went, and I
Yeah.
was one of the boys, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I've been through so many things myself, and I know the challenges that I faced all those years ago, and they're not that much different now. Even the pay scale has only improved 5% in the last 20 years for women.
Yes, and that is a problem. Or you have to go, like I always said to everybody, when you go somewhere, you negotiate. But
Right.
people don't know how to negotiate.
They don't know how to negotiate.
Exactly, because the biggest mistake they do first, and I learned it a very long time ago, actually, from coaches, you don't talk about first the salary. You let them want you first. And a lot of people will talk about the salary, which is a big fat no-no. And then it's toward the end, you start to bring the salary. But what I did on mine and worked, and it should work for everybody, is you're showing them the why. Why am I worth this amount? Because of this, what I can do for you is this, and some more. They will get you the right price if they really want you. And a lot of people, I don't know if you agree or not, but a lot of people don't know how to do this. And that's unfortunate.
It's not only for salary. I believe that's the same for everything that you do in life. We're always selling ourselves. Really, yes. We're always selling ourselves. And, that old stories sell, but facts just tell. So it is about the why. You're so right. In sales, in, even in networking, you don't tell someone what you charge, right?
Nope.
You let them know what your value is, what you bring to the table. And not only that, how they can be helped. What are their needs and wants that you can address?
Yes.
In coaching, we have something called levels of listening. And I actually teach levels of listening because there's different ways to listen to someone. And when you listen to them in certain ways, you know what they want. And when you know what they want, you can give it to them.
Exactly. So, yes, if people could learn these very simple steps, it will help them to get the right salary. Even at the beginning, I always said, because, when you go for an interview, first you talk to HR and HR's telling you the price and like, sure, no problem. I never sign a paper. Doesn't matter what you're saying because you're not the hiring manager at the end of the day. But I'm going to say yes if you wanted to. I'm not going to argue because you're not the person I'm going to be negotiating at the end of the day.
Right. Exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand that. And it's like, no, don't say anything. Just say yes, sure, agree with everything. Just do your mini 5-10 minutes with that person. Then when you talk to the hiring manager, focus on your quality, focus on what you can do for them. Then you talk to the team, then you go back to the hiring manager, and this is where you negotiate. It's like, that's it. And if they want you, they will take you. They will do everything they can because they have the money, they have everything.
Exactly. Let someone do your negotiating for you too. If if the person that is hiring you, that you will report to, can go to HR and say, no, we need this person. You have to give this much money. That's the best way. That's the best.
And that's never HR will say no, because HR will just apply what the manager said, because it's between the manager and their managers itself to open it. It's like you got a bracket pricing. So it's like, whatever you say on paper can be changed. And that's what I've done it. And it worked. And I'm like, I would have known that years before, but I'm like, okay, that's not that bad. Listen, learn. But
yes,
I think women should learn to know how to negotiate better.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Even for business loans, for those entrepreneurs that, very few women have a business loan. They do things the hard way instead of going and getting investors or an SBAC loan. They use their own funds. Men, on the other hand, most times they don't use their own money. They use someone else's money. And so being able to go and negotiate at a bank, also a great advantage.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And that's something that, again, we've never been taught. Like you said, woman goes the hard way. I don't know why we do that. Why should we be do the hard way instead of doing like what they're doing it? It would be nice if, and I've been saying that for, I don't know, 6 months at least. It would be nice if leadership were taught at I would say not kindergarten, well, or even go with kindergarten for kids. Oh, seriously.
Yeah. And there are schools that do it. I have grandchildren, and my grandchildren, it's amazing that you put them in a room for adults, and they will bring the adults together, and they will guide the conversation and actually create an experience for adults in the room because of the training that they have received. It's a private school, but it has it's actually called classical conversations, so that they can speak in the real world and negotiate and become good citizens.
It would be great if it was everywhere. Mm-hmm. It would be great if it would be in public school as well, because I believe that when you start to teach children at a younger age, then their entrepreneurial skills will develop, and they could be creators, they could be business owners, they could do things that to make a better world. Actually, that sounds maybe a little, crazy what I just said, but I believe that if you show them this, and like you said, you're seeing your grandchildren doing this, and it's amazing because you see the transformation and you're like, whoa, compared to other children, and you look around, then they have an advantage, they have a leg up. And I wish we could teach this to all of the children, because they have such a great imagination. My goodness, the sky is the limit for them. And giving them those skill sets will help them in their lives.
Absolutely. And they're so willing. They're such as sponges that they, they pick up everything in their environment. And, yes, you're right. It would be great. It would
make our world a better world for sure. So you did coaching for 20 years, and you now have another business. You're running 2 businesses in parallel, which is the coaching one and the cardio wellness group. What made you start this?
So that's a personal health story. So while I was coaching, I did a lot of introspective and what is my life going to be like, and what was my life like, and I unfortunately lost my dad at 6 years old, and he died of a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And he was 39 at the time. And as I approached that age, I always thought, oh gosh, if I could just live until I'm 39.
Okay.
And I got to 39 and I passed it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm free. Right?
Yeah, this is good.
And then one day I went and got a cardiovascular screening of a device that had just been FDA approved. And it showed that I had the circulatory system of a 70-year-old.
Oh, wow.
And I started to panic. What am I going to do? I want a lot more years of life, and this isn't a good thing. No. So I decided to go on my own quest and do something about my health. I ended up actually becoming a distributor for that device because it was so amazing, because I was able to reverse my health. And now, what is it? 10 years later, I have the arteries of a 25-year-old.
Wow, this is great.
Yes. And it was through a series of my own discoveries. And I have, for the last 10 years now, have worked with helping other people in the cardiovascular area, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, all those challenges, helping them to reverse them without having to go on prescription drugs, or perhaps, even using less of them.
Oh, wow. That's
And
fantastic.
when you look at the statistics, 50% of Americans actually have hypertension. They have high blood pressure. That's 85 million people that have high blood pressure. And a lot of people say, oh, no, high blood pressure, no big deal. I'll just take a pill. It'll be better. Well, that's a Band-Aid, right?
Yes.
And if you have a deep cut, putting a Band-Aid on it is not going to make a difference.
Nope.
So what I do at Cardio Wellness Group is I teach people how to heal their bodies from the inside out. And we do that by making small shifts in their lifestyle.
Okay.
Those small adjustments can lead to really huge changes in their health.
Absolutely. Wow. What a journey.
Yeah.
That's totally amazing to I love the fact that what happened to you, or the circumstances, you decided to help other people as well. That's what I love, what you did right there. You could have just said, okay, I can be fixed, life is good. But instead, you created your own business to reach out to people, because I'm sure a lot of people don't even know alternatives to the happy pills, and you take and that's it. So right. It's wonderful to know that you took this and made it something else to give back to people and the awareness.
Yeah, it's actually my mission. I have a mission to reach 1 million people.
Okay.
To help them make their lives better.
So how can they reach out to you in this regard?
I have an 800 number. Okay. That they can call me at. And of course, my email is Judy at Cardio Wellness Group. It's my name and my company. Judy at cardiowellnessgroup.com. And
do you have a website as well?
Yes, it's cardiowellnessgroup.com.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you have information there that people, do you do any online session for people to join you, or how, if people are interested and want to know a little bit more, do you have something on that website that can give them more information? Do you do online session once a month or something like that for teaching people or bring more awareness?
Sure. Absolutely. So, I actually do a complimentary 20-minute session with people to see if we can work together, if we are in alignment, because you have to be able to trust and respect the person that you're working with, right? And for me to see if they have the desire to really go through some challenges and difficulties along the journey, because no journey, has no potholes, right?
Yes.
So I have, and there is a site registration on the site that you can sign up for more information on that. And normally, I work with my clients 1 hour. We start with a weekly and then we go to a monthly. The first month, we want to be in touch every week. Yep. And then after that, monthly, just to make sure that, that what they're doing is working for them.
Yes.
I was through the last 2 years, because of what happened with the health of the country. I was concerned with some of the media and their response to how to get better. And
Yes.
because of that, I actually went back to school to become a holistic health practitioner.
Oh, nice.
So now I have so many more things under my belt
Yes.
that I can help people with in just small conversations, something that is natural and they can do on a daily basis to relieve stress, which is huge right now,
Mm-hmm.
or make those shifts in their diet, um, or even add a supplement like vitamin D to
Mm-hmm.
their diet, that has been proven by the medical community to actually help the body stay healthy.
Yes.
And that's really what it's about, is, what do we do ourselves that can make a difference in our health and our energy, in our mind. um,
Mm-hmm.
when we feel better, we think clearer, and when we think clearer, we can make better decisions.
Absolutely in
And
agreement with you.
that's going to affect our family, it's going to affect our business, it's going to
Mm-hmm.
affect our community. You can volunteer more if you are feeling better.
Absolutely. I think the awareness is essential because, like you said, my only concern as well is what media, social media, are putting out there in their latest and greatest things that is not even been verified or distorted. And people are following blindfoldly what they're saying, thinking it's the right word and they are right, which is worrisome when you're looking at the holistic side of it. And I have a holistic doctor that I've been working for the past over 20 years with him. And it's quite horrifying when you're hearing very weird things. And not only this, but even if you're looking at vitamin D, because somebody said you should use 8 milligram a day, it doesn't mean it fits for you either, because your body needs
Exactly.
something or a different dosage. And it's very scary when you're listening to them talking and say, well, the CDC or whomever decided that, well, this year we decided vitamin D is this for everybody. I'm like, no, it's not, because I have a holistic doctor who's doing it and custom to my body. Not
Exactly.
everybody needs the same amount of vitamin D, or not everybody needs the vitamin D. Some people don't. So it's very scary when you don't have professional like you or my holistic doctor really validating your body, what you need, and somebody else says in media is going to tell you what to take, even if it's wrong.
Right. And different nationalities, different ethnic groups. There's so many differences in people that we have to account for that, and we have to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what's best and what their lifestyle is.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, something as simple as vitamin D. If you're working
Mm-hmm.
outside, you're getting vitamin D.
Yeah,
You don't need to take additional vitamin D.
exactly.
So there's so many things, and that's where a practitioner can kind of dig down into what
Mm-hmm.
your lifestyle, what your desires are, and what you're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Exactly.
everyone's not going to want to pop a vitamin, but someone may want to walk for 15 minutes outside.
Exactly. It's adapting. And
Exactly.
that's why having you help a lot, because at least it's tailored to the person.
Exactly.
And that makes a huge difference. So it's wonderful that you brought that awareness and decided to go back to school and learn more about it. So that helps a lot, because it really fortify and create the base. Then you have to continue what you're doing with the better knowledge. That
Yes.
to me is amazing.
Yeah. So to me, it's taking my coaching skills
Mm-hmm.
that I've developed, and now my health and wellness awareness, and the training that I've gotten for that, to kind of put it in a package. Because
Mm-hmm.
with coaching, I can kind of hear sometimes what someone is not saying, I
Mhm.
always say that a lot of times people's voice is between the words.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
if we can just take that whole package and put it together, it's like the best of both worlds.
And it sounds like it. And it's very interesting the trajectory you had from the cosmetic world where you were to the coaching to now the wellness. It looks like you built your skills along the way to where you are today, which is amazing. It's not, this is why I love to talk to you, to talk to others, is how did you get there? What is your journey to take you from the beginning to now? So people who are listening to the podcast kind of realize, okay, I want to start a business. Okay, good for you. But that journey is going to take you to somewhere else in the same times to maybe you never thought about the wellness side of it until something happened. And it's like, oh, here's an opportunity, and taking your skill set and you have finesse for all of those years and learn something new and combine all of it. It's amazing because most people don't understand. They don't have an understanding of anyone's stories, how it all began to where we are today. And it's amazing to hear your story because it's, I don't know. To me, it's like unbelievable. Who would you have ever thought? Have you ever thought in million years you would be doing wellness and mixed all of them?
No, not at all. I just knew that I was a lifelong learner, and that wherever my journey would take me, I wanted to continue to grow and learn and be a contributor to society and
Mhm.
to the world. And how could I do that? I could do that by learning more and becoming more involved.
So, with all of that knowledge, have you write any books? Have you published any what we call it? What I'm going to call it articles at this point. I forgot the word
Blog,
in
like the
English.
blog thing.
Yes, exactly. Have you write any articles or anything like that based on
There
your
are
experience?
some articles on my website. I have tons of videos.
Okay.
I have a YouTube channel. Cardio Wellness Group is a YouTube channel. Tons of
Mhm.
videos. I just finished an article actually the day before yesterday called "Are you an annual or a perennial?"
Oh,
Because
nice.
of my love of plants. I see you
Yep.
have plants in your background, right? Um, I do monthly. A friend and I do a webinar that is called "Unleash Your Free Spirit,"
Okay.
and it's about fulfilling your dreams. And we have a guest speaker, but we always have a time where we call them icebreakers. And
Mm-hmm.
this month our icebreaker was, if you were a plant or an animal, what would you be?
A
And
dahlia.
a dahlia. Oh my gosh, right away you knew. Would you be a giant dahlia or would you be the low dahlias?
No, giant one.
Giant dahlia,
I can't
absolutely.
even tell you which one I would like to be. It
Which
will
one?
be the black dahlia.
Oh, the rare
They
one.
are gorgeous. Oh
Oh,
my
they are
goodness.
gorgeous. They are
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous. Absolutely. That's
Yes.
cool. Well, that conversation actually made me think of myself. Well,
Yeah.
gosh, if I were a flower, would I be an annual or a perennial? So
No.
I wrote an article. Are you an annual
Nice.
or a perennial? So
I love it.
that's on my website. I'm just finishing the video
Okay.
for that, so that will be on my YouTube channel too. Um,
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. So you do that once a month? How people can apply to or participate to that? What people,
Oh,
how they can
Unleash Your
connect
Free
with?
Spirit. Actually, it's on LinkedIn. Um,
Okay.
uh, it's We have a group called Unleash Your Free Spirit, and I invite several people every month. We have 30, 40, 50 people come on every month,
Okay.
and we have the best speakers. So next month, Jason Candler, actually, he created the $5 difference, how to change people's lives with $5. We've had the man that is has the Guinness Book of World Records for climbing all the highest peaks in the world. As the oldest person, he's in his 70s. And we have had amazing speakers. We had a woman that created garden gloves so her manicure wouldn't get hurt.
Yes.
And they are now in Walmart.
Nice.
Yes. So she was a guest. We had a woman that created dentures that you can do at home. You can create so you don't have to go to a dentist to get the forms. She has a home kit.
I saw this commercial for a home kit for dentures. Was it her? Because I saw a commercial about that. You can order it and you do it and send it and they're making it for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
So every month we have a speaker, we have icebreakers. We also have networking. So we want everybody to connect with one another. That's our goal. Nice. And it's something that we don't monetize. It's just something that my friend and I do for fun.
That sounds fun.
And we do it every month. It's amazing. And I've met so many cool people through that venue.
Oh, that is wonderful. So unleash your free spirit. Okay. I'm going to be stalking you now on LinkedIn. Sorry, Judy.
Please do.
I'm like, that sounds super fun. I would like to attend one of them because that sounds very interesting, the one you get next month. So is it in the middle of the month or do you have
it's the first Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
At noon Central Time. So for business people, it's kind of the lunch hour.
Yep.
And it's 1 hour long. We start on time. We end on time. Sometimes we get screwed up in the middle because of all the fun we have, but we always have an amazing speaker. We get great questions. We allow our speakers to answer questions.
Nice.
Of the people that are there about what they spoke. So it's just the funnest hour of my month, actually.
No, that sounds fun. At the beginning of the month, that sounds super fun. I'm like, I want to go there. I'm going there. I'm sorry, Judy. You got one person who's going to be talking here with me, and I make it official right now on the podcast.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'll make sure I send you an invitation, Emma.
Oh, that would be wonderful because that sounds to me fun. And it's a great way to be able to listen to other people on what they're doing, especially like the guests you've got. It's amazing. It's inspiring too.
Well, their stories are just amazing. And some of the things they've gone through have actually brought me to tears. And they've survived and become so successful. One of them was an author. She was actually unemployed and she wasn't an author then. She ended up writing a book, but she had no money. And she eventually became an editor for a huge magazine and now helps people get book deals all over the world.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, when you get the passion, you get the determination and the faith. I think it comes from the beliefs, the faith, and the stubbornness. Being stubborn is something that, to me, it is something everybody should have, because if you know your passion, if you know your why, if you know what drives you and the purpose you've got, then that will help you to stay on track. For me, being stubborn is more than a compliment. When people say, you're stubborn, I'm like, yep. And I'm happy to be, because I will not be here where I am today if I wasn't.
That's right.
And that's, to me, is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, especially when you go through trials and tribulation and you're not giving it up. It's, to me, is amazing. So it's empowering to listen others, to hear their struggle, to see how far, where they gone. And, so with all of you have done so far, and you're the chapter president of the CEO Space. Can you share a little bit more about it?
Well, CEO Space is actually a collaborative organization that is full of education and collaborative networking. So it's an amazing organization. I became a president because it helped my business so much. I really believe that by helping others, you will be helped. So, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yes.
And CEO space was there for me when I needed them. And so I decided to become a club president and promote that organization that is so professional, so collaborative, and uses the best and brightest that are in the world today for training, and training on absolutely anything. It could be mindset, but it could be podcasts. It could be how to know what your bottom line is, what marketing is. It could be, just how to be a better person. It's anything you can imagine. There are experts that teach on it, and they actually have 5 events each month that are full of networking and learning, and a social media platform that's private, that is not monetized anyway. There's no advertising on it.
Yep.
That you can connect with other like-minded people and have really great conversations with, and connect with them offline and online.
That is wonderful. That is another, again, great organization. And I've met a few of people who are part of that group, actually. And absolutely
you had someone on, right?
Bill.
Yes, Bill Sturley. Absolutely. Yes. My friend Bill Sturley, great teacher. And he spoke actually at one of our master classes after you had interviewed him.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Is absolutely mind-blowing, and talking to him for an hour was just like, oh boy, he is just unbelievable. Great mind, very kind, down to earth, really connect with people. This is what I love, is being able to talk with you, speak with him, is having people really down to earth and connecting. And the giving back to the community is something that for him is the same way as well. So people understand that when you got a business, the business helps the community, because you bring money in, because you're hiring people, because your goods are selling, whatever, if it's a service, if it's a product, and it's a full circle. And when you understand this, it makes life so much more easier.
Yes, I remember when I was a young newly married person working in an office. And after I had my first child, I felt like I was 2 people. I felt like I would drop my son off at daycare and become a business person. And on the way home from work, I'd become mom again. Right. And it took a long while for me to realize that I am me. And I want to bring my best to the world wherever I am. So whether I'm at work, or whether I'm at play, whether I'm on vacation, it really doesn't matter. I bring my best to everything and every person that I see. And it's such a freeing feeling to not have that pressure of being the professional person. I remember going into a customer's home and asking to use their bathroom, and the woman said to me, "I'm sorry, but there's toys in the bathtub. I have a child." That was one of my first wake-up calls. Like, oh my gosh, I have a child too. My child is at home being babysat by my mother-in-law because I'm traveling. But being able then to have that conversation about their child, who they had put somewhere else because I was in their home for dinner, right? Yes. And so to know that I could really be me, even when I was in a business setting, to bring myself to that setting, my personalities, my loves, my challenges, and just be who I am. And, one of the biggest lessons I think I learned when I started my business was to bring my whole self to my business.
Yeah, because in the authenticity, people can see it. And I believe we connect more when we're authentic to our own self, trying
Sure.
to portray or remove, like you said, you remove the mom part of it, that doesn't make you whole. People maybe didn't notice that, but some people will feel it. There is something missing. And if you bring yourself whole as you are, I truly believe people connect better with you because they see who you are,
Right.
not
Exactly.
what you want to show them. Even the professional side of it, it's like, yes, if you have a child, you have a child. And it's like, okay, but I'm professional too.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you can relate about one children and all of the toys in the bathtub. I said, wow, let me tell you something. I have another story to share with you. So I believe there is a deeper connection when we're able to relate at a human level.
Hmm. Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
But that's good. That's very good. So I love it. So what is next for you? What are the projects? Do you have any big projects coming up soon
So,
or?
yes, so I do. So I'm starting an online class. Not ready yet, but
Okay.
I'm going to start. I do most of my clients, I see one-on-one. We do it virtually over Zoom or phone. And it's, I like community and I like people helping other people. I don't have all the answers, but I believe as a community, we can help one another. So I
Yeah.
want to start a community of health and wellness where we can, talk about diet, talk about movement, you know, talk about the medical community in a safe space and let people know that their beliefs are their beliefs. And
Yes.
it's not up to us to change what you believe, but it is up to us to educate on what is out there and what is available.
I think so too. I think there's a lack of education. I don't know if it's done in purpose. I'm more on the holistic side, personally. This is what I've been doing for over 20 years because I know that's what works best for me. Even I got COVID over a week ago, and it wasn't a joyride, but I went the holistic way because I believe in holistic and I've been treated for that. And I came out a few days later being cleaned, which was like, yep, perfect. Wasn't a fun ride, I must say.
Oh, I'm so glad that you came through it.
Oh, yes, I went through it because I had a protocol. But the deal is the symptoms were different of everybody else's symptom because I have an autoimmune disorder. So the symptom I had were not related to anything if you look at COVID. So
Wow.
that was the most interesting thing. And even it took 48 hours for me to test to finally make it positive. The first test when I got it never showed I was positive. It showed negative.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, the holistic side of it should be an education for people to know because nature can heal us. Now, you need a professional like you or my holistic doctor to be able to do that, not the first news article somewhere, but to see a professional. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to read articles and say, oh, well, we can get cured with this. I'm like, no, 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 no. Relate to someone who has the knowledge. And to me, holistic way should be, it's taught in the rest of the world. And I don't understand here why it's so hidden. And when I have the opportunity to talk to you who now is in a holistic world, in a space, then it's an opportunity for people to reach out to you
Well,
because you get the knowledge.
and if you want to learn why the medical profession is the way it is, read The Truth About Cancer by Ty Bollinger.
Okay.
It is an eye-opening book, and I was just absolutely astonished when I learned about the history of the medical community and how this country was holistic before 1910.
Yes. And then also yep, somebody came with a happy pills and pharmaceutical came along and changed everything. So
Absolutely.
that's why it's being able to inform ourselves with the right people who have the knowledge. So that's why it's essential for everybody to think outside of the box. And most people don't think about it because they're afraid or don't know who to talk to.
Right, right. And I think people think they don't have the time, especially now. I see people saying, "Oh, I don't have time to attend webinars. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that." And in reality, if you don't take the time now, eventually you'll be paying for it because your health is going to suffer so much, and it's going to cost a lot of money, and people will not be able to do the activities that they love to do. You know, I'm a grandmother. I spend a lot of time in Florida with three of my grandchildren, and we play in the surf. We walk along the beach. We look for shark teeth. You know, we have a lot of fun in the outdoors. And okay, so I'm going to tell you now something I don't tell hardly anyone. So next week is my birthday. I'm going to be 70 years old.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Okay. Just to let you know, guys, Judy doesn't look like 70. Make it 20 years younger. Seriously. Okay.
Yes. And I feel like a 40 or 50-year-old. I feel better than most of the friends I have that are 40 and 50. And it's because I have worked on myself and have done research and looked at the best ways, and have asked people that have the knowledge to give me the hints and to give me the shortcuts, right? So I don't have to do all the research by myself.
Yes. Well, yeah, if they have the answers, it's, you know, it's like, yeah, give me that information so I know. And it's wonderful. Well, just to let you know, my birthday was yesterday, so we're Gemini. Go power, Gemini.
Yay! Oh, that's great. I love Geminis.
I love Gemini too. So that's wonderful. But I love the fact that you open yourself up and went and got all of those information and not close yourself up and said, oh no, I just do this. You just open it up and bring it to people. And to me, I think it's a very, very big things to do. And it's amazing what you have done for the past 20 plus years to where you are today. That's absolutely wonderful. So when do you think that training is going to be in place?
Well,
do you have an ETA?
Yes, I'm working on redeveloping my website and creating the tools. So, you know, hopefully it'll probably take a few months, I think, before we get it all done.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'm happy to work with individuals.
That's wonderful. So is that training will be based on any of the classes, or did you create it from scratch, or what is it the wellness part of it, or it's both coaching and wellness?
So it is a combination of coaching and wellness, and it's all the tips and tricks that I have learned throughout my journey. So for instance, on my YouTube channel, I have a section of recipes. And I use, you know, no sugar, no wheat recipes. So it's a combination of teaching the recipes, about learning how to not have to go to the gym every day to still be in good shape. And it's about learning how to reduce stress levels without having to pop a pill or, you know, being on some prescription drug.
I love that.
So,
okay, well, I want to see those classes. So I probably will be looking at those classes and attend the classes. Is it so in the concept you've got for those classes, is it going to be like a 12-week classes, or is it module 1, module 2, module 3, or do you have any idea already how you're going to go about the training? Or
so we're going to start with a 12-week class. And eventually, yes, create modules. But for the first class, I wanted to include everything and touch on the basics so that people can get just a firm foundation of what it is like to live a healthy life.
Oh, I like that.
And without taking additional time. I think that's one of the things that I am one of the things that I am really known for is not having to change your life but to make small shifts that create big results.
That's wonderful. Well, I'm looking forward for that. Thank you so much for being on my podcast today. It's been a pleasure and an honor to hear your story. It's amazing. And I'm sure it will empower people. So if you need to get a hold of Judy, I will, in the description of the podcast, add your website, your phone number, and your email where people can connect with you. And if they have any question, they can reach out to you directly, which is going to be wonderful. But thank you so much, because I know it will inspire people around the world to know a little bit more about who you are and how you got there. Because that to me is it's always an amazing story to hear from any business owners, their journey. That's what it's all about.
Thank you, Emma. It's a pleasure to be a guest of yours. You're a great hostess.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.